Greetings, everyone. How are you doing? So I have a juicy little message I want to share with you today, and it came off the back of my one of the posts I wrote this morning or earlier today, a little like coloured background, just a couple of lines. And I really felt like wanting to expand this message because it might be something that might feel a bit strange to you, or maybe you hadn't thought of it in this way. So I just want to expand this conversation. So I'll just read you the little quote. So if you're on my personal Facebook profile, you might have seen it. And I just started it saying the quote is, "You can create whatever you want." And then I said, "No, you can't. You can, however, create whatever is truly soul aligned with no limits." So I wanted to expand on that a little bit because I had a question on it, and I really wanted to talk more about it anyway, around what I meant by that, because we, in this kind of personal development area, whatever you want to call it, we do get the message a lot, right? You can create your own reality, you can create whatever you really want. And I've definitely shared those messages as well. It's definitely part of my branding, part of my soul mission, part of my heart and soul, really, to believe that and share that. But there is a piece that goes alongside that I think I kind of it sort of dawned on me today, actually, that maybe that isn't common knowledge, or maybe it isn't something that many have talked about as much, right? Because there has been a massive distortion, and this is why I'm really like fired up. I want to share this with you because it might be that you're maybe stuck because of this, or you might be kind of dragging your heels a bit because of this and thinking that maybe there's something wrong with you. And there's nothing wrong with you, but sometimes we're tapping into things, and we've had a lot of universal spiritual teachings that have come in, and they're peppered with truths, higher perspectives, but there is a lot of distortion and manipulation in this, and this is really one of them. And I've kind of tapped into that today, I think, accidentally. So yeah, so what I want to talk about then today is, and just keep an open mind on this, is the idea, right, that we get to create our reality, right? The way that we decide, we make choices, we think, we focus our attention on it, we take the aligned action, we do all those things, and we create whatever it is that we're creating, shifts, changes, transformations, whatever, right? So this message that comes in, it says you can create whatever you want in the entire universe, is true and it's not true. Because what it does, without the understanding behind it, and this is where there's a twist, right? There is a twist. Without the understanding of how you're doing it and the energies that you're utilizing and the reasons you're creating what you're creating, without that piece, what it becomes then is this kind of ego, very head-based, what would I call it? What's the right word? Like just from your head, that you're just plucking it from often what you've seen outside of you, right? Or we've seen other people in the world, and we think, oh, we really, really like that. We want that for ourselves. Now, I've definitely shared this message before where I've said, if you've desired something, then it's meant for you. But I want to take that further, because actually what I'm meaning by that when I say that is, I'm talking about if you really and truly desire something. Maybe you've seen it in someone else. Maybe you've seen someone else even on Facebook, or someone talk about it. If you really and truly desire that, and I'm talking, and I have said this before, I'm talking not from your head, from your soul, from your heart and soul, from that deep place inside of you that feels like the truth of who you are, even if you don't know how you're going to do it or how you're going to get it. If you truly, truly desire it, then it absolutely is meant for you. And I still stand by that message. This is what I live and breathe. I've experienced it myself. It's what I help clients to do. I really, really believe that if that's the case, you absolutely do get to create it, and there are no limits. There really aren't any limits. You are a creator being. What I'm talking about here today is that is different to, you're just seeing somebody over there with this thing, person, relationship, circumstance going on, and from your head, your mind tells you, oh, I really want that. Oh, I feel like, I should have that. And then you start seeing it as a good thing, and you understand, oh, that looks good. Other people have it. Maybe I could have it. And then you get swept away with this idea of, I really want to create that. But it's coming from up here. It's coming from your mind. And most of us are familiar with mindset, right? Mindset and the power of the mind. But what that does is it keeps us very locked into the the ego-based desire, the head-based, the thinking-based thing of what we say we want. And when you get stuck in that trap, it has literally got nothing to do with your actual soul, what you as a soul came in to experience and create. And this is where you can't separate this conversation, right? So I cannot and I will not, and I don't separate this conversation between having an expansive life and creating and making changes in your life with the spiritual journey of us being a spiritual being in the physical form, because you cannot separate those two things. When we try and separate those two things and we kind of cast out the whole spiritual development journey or our soul path, and we make it purely about our desires and our head-based wants, we are missing a whole entire piece. And that is why a lot of people who are going around, and I do sense this, because I'm one of my natural abilities, I guess, is to really see it. I can really see it, and I can sense it, and I know it when I cross paths with it. There are a lot of people who are trying to maybe create something in their business or create something in their personal life, some sort of result, but actually they're creating it from a head-based place because they've seen other people do it. Maybe they've got a mentor that says, yes, you can do this, let's do an ABC blueprint on how to do this, but actually it's got nothing to do with their soul. And this is why, have you ever been in this situation where you're focused on a goal and you're batting your head against a wall? Why is it not happening? Why is it not happening? A lot of the time that's blocks, beliefs, energy stuff that you get to work through. But sometimes it is because it's not aligned. And this is where maybe this isn't like what a lot of people want to hear necessarily, but sometimes the thing that they're trying to seek, the goal that they're trying to attain, isn't soul aligned. It was coming from a different place altogether, right? And this isn't about making it bigger or smaller. This goes in both directions. So let me give you like a concrete example. I'll think of one right now. Let's say, okay, I'm going to use money because it's kind of measurable. We understand it. So apply this to whatever area makes sense for you. Let's say, and I've been in a lot of these groups, right? So let's say the goal that everybody's working is the creative entrepreneurial group, and they're all trying to create businesses. And let's say they're trying to hit like 100K, right? And for some of you, that's going to sound like massively crazy expansive. For some of you, it's going to sound very small, no big deal. Some of you, somewhere in between. But let's just play for a minute. So let's say everybody's in this group and they're all trying to create and they're trying to hit this 100,000, six figures. We hear like massive goal, like six-figure business. Let's say that everyone's trying to focus on this. And let's say that you're in that group and you're trying this goal that everybody else is doing, but for some reason, it's just not. You're doing the strategies, you're doing the things, it just doesn't feel aligned, right? That's because it isn't. So maybe for that person, I'm just using this as an example, maybe for that person, what really is aligned for them right now is going for 20K, right? That's aligned. It might be another person in this same group who's doing the same thing, 100K, because everybody else is focused on this goal. But if they were really tuning in, their absolute soul aligned goal would be 500K, right? Just playing with numbers. So don't get triggered with, with the amounts. It's just, I'm playing with numbers to show you, right? It could be that somebody's trying to aspire, right, a great one, trying and get themselves to publish a book because everybody that they know has published a book and they want to get it to #1 Amazon bestseller using all these strategies, blah, blah, blah. And they're trying to get themselves to do it. And it's really hard and it's like dragging themselves through treacle. But if they were really soul aligned, maybe for them, it is not the book. Maybe for them, it was the podcast, right? But sometimes we get so swept away and then we end up chasing goals that aren't even ours. So I want to just throw you a question. Whenever you're watching this now on the replay or whenever from now, I want to just throw you the question, whatever's coming up for you, whatever the area is for you, just reflect on it, whatever the answer is. But are you chasing a goal that isn't even yours? And I want you just to see what it feels like. Really feel into that, because that's not something someone else can tell you. That is something for you to really, really get good at answering. Are you chasing a goal that isn't even yours? How do you know? That's another question. How do you know if it's your goal or not? It's how it feels inside of you. So there is a depending on your ability to connect with yourself, depending on how much time you've spent, in conversation with yourself, in reflection on your own, soul growth, all of that, your spiritual path, your inner world, all of this, depending on how much focus you've put on that, that might be a pretty easy question. Just take a moment, reflect, you feel it. For some of you, though, that might be a really difficult question. So the work there is to really start to drop in, right? Drop into yourself and start to get to know yourself on this level, because that's how you determine, is this coming from my head base? I still do this. I still have those times of like, hang on, this is like my head telling me this. I should do this. I should do that. Drop down. What's my soul telling me? And my soul is telling me something completely different. Often, though, they're saying the same thing. And that's what aligned is. We talk about alignment a lot, like a buzzword. Aligned is when we're really we're lined up, right? What we're thinking and from the head and focused, it's really lined up with truly what our soul is telling us. How do you know when it's not? I would say that you can tune in and you can feel that something's off. So that's why asking this question, am I chasing a goal that's not even mine? Is this right for me? Those types of questions, you can really start to feel. And some of you, this might be really alien and unfamiliar because you've never done it. So I want to encourage you, if you're new to this, really start asking these questions, start going on this journey, because it's going to shortcut you. It's going to fast track you from just following what else is out there. For a lot of you that's already doing this, and I know a lot of you do, as you tune into my messages, maybe we've worked together or connected, you already are on this path. But even so, it's still a requirement that we've got to check in and ask ourselves, let me just check in and see what I'm doing right now. Does this feel true in my soul? Because we still get to create whatever we want when it's soul aligned, right? So let me know what comes up around these questions, or if this makes sense, or if you've got any other questions off the back of this conversation, I'd love to know. Hello, Darren. Not sure what my goal is exactly yet, awaiting my direction. Well, you know what? I love that, because actually what you're saying is you don't know what your goal is. You don't know deep inside of you. Your mind could probably come up with 10 possible ideas for you right now, right? If you were to sit with a pen and paper, so if you were doing this logically, right, which I know that you're not, you're doing it from a deeper place, right? And I love that you're saying awaiting my direction. So imagine if you were choosing not to follow your soul guidance and you were just doing it from your head. You could be coming up with all sorts of ideas right now. You could list things that you think you should be doing. But what you're really saying is, I don't know what my goal is exactly yet. I'm just going to wait for my direction. I'm waiting. You're allowing it to drop in. And that's a really great point, because sometimes when it's I say that actually when it's soul aligned, you'll feel that it will come to you. So not always, because obviously it feels different. But what I'm just going to share what it feels like for me. So for any of you who are not too sure maybe what it looks like, I notice that if it's from my head, because I can come up with a million ideas at the drop of a hat. I can generate ideas so easily. I could come up with loads of ideas. It feels very up here for me. It feels very outward, like it's like me trying to project outwards and come up with ideas, right? When something is very soul aligned, for me, it feels like it just is, and it sort of comes to me. So for me, it feels like it's inwards, but it sort of comes into me, and it's like, oh yeah, this is real for me, right? So it's a very different feel. Another maybe signal is if it's head based and you're just sort of doing it, it can feel very maybe busy and fast and crowded, because I have a very fast mind. But if it's soul based, maybe there's a bit more, there's a groundedness there. It's like, no, this is meant for me, right? And then that's from that place, you can create whatever you want from that, because that's truly soul aligned. You came in with that, right? I have loads of go-to options, but truly not sure what to go for. Loads of ideas. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Just awaiting the one I need to go for. Yeah, it's like a real. That is like a journey of trust. You're having to trust in this kind of limbo void state. Like it does require some like resilience, some courage, and some trust to just allow allow and trust that you will know. If you don't know yet, it's because you don't know yet. It's because it hasn't been shown to you, right? And remember, there's a timing involved as well sometimes, often, always. It hasn't been shown to you. So if you just stay the course and you just let it come to you, that's the thing. That's what clarity is. It's like, ta-da, we know. We suddenly know. We wake up. Sometimes we just wake up knowing, right? Yeah, you're really struggling to trust the soul and the guides. Yeah, because the world doesn't teach you this. The world has taught us to go to school, have a 5-year plan, write down all the steps, ABC, 1, 2, 3, right? You are staying strong. Yes, I'm so glad. Stay the course. Stay the course. Hello, Neil. I'm very well, thank you. How are you? Yeah, stay the course. And this is what it is. And I just want to touch on as well that the distortion. Now, this is, I'm big on, I like talking about this kind of thing. The world programming that we are all breaking free of over and over and over from all the bullshit going on at the moment. One of the world's distortions, like the new age and the spiritual circles, have all been infiltrated with this kind of concept, is you can create whatever you want at, in any sort of area. And this is where we go into, like, as I said, the ego. We've got some of this narcissistic culture going on, right? That it's all like me, I want, but actually it takes us out of the soul alignment. Our souls are sacred, and we've come in with a very good reason for being here and a very powerful blueprint off the back of our previous experiences. So there is a divine energy there, right? But if we go into these teachings that says, just think about what you want. If it's a car that you want, just focus on the car, focus on the car. If it's the swimming pool, and usually it's the material focus, right? Or the job, or this and this and this. It says you can just choose it and just decide what you want. Now, I've spoken of that before, but when I say you can choose it from a menu, I'm talking about choosing things that are, again, are soul aligned, right? So let's say it's very soul aligned for me to create a business and help people in the way that I do. So when I pick off my menu, it's all the things that involve, these things that are here to help people. So I get to kind of pick from this menu of what I want to create, but it's from a very soul aligned place, right? Not a head based place, right? So I hope that distinction kind of makes sense. School sucked and taught me to be in the matrix. Yeah, that's a fucking big no. Exactly. And this is what you're breaking out of. We're all breaking out of this more and more and more. Even I am, like, all of us are, like, nobody, and there's a lot of messages around, I'm out of the matrix, and you're not. We're all in it because we're all still subject to a lot of programming and conditioning, and there are layers and layers and layers, right? So yeah, no chance, right? You're not going to follow and just do as you're told. Exactly. So I want to just encourage you then just to understand you can't just create whatever you want, because actually when we try and do that, there are so many people in the world right now that are trying to create all these things that have got nothing to do with their soul alignment, because what that teaching fails to tell you is there's a twist, right? That I'm going to call it a twist, is you've got to come back into your knowing, come back into your soul. And let's not make soul a dirty word, right? Let's not make soul into a woo-woo. Oh, I'm not sure if I can talk about that because that's a bit out there. Like, I'm so over that now. I did a lot of that for a few years, of like almost apologetically talking about things like soul. But it's like I can't take that out of the conversation on anything. Like, it's like breathing. You can't take it out of this equation, right? So I wish I could create what I want. Lol, I do not live in a computer game. Yeah. And just to reiterate, there's a twist, because you can create whatever you want from a soul aligned place, right? That's what I absolutely want anyone tuning into this message to get. You can't create whatever you want, because that's can be from your head, and then that's bullshit, and then it's not aligned, so you're not going to create it. Your soul didn't come here, for example, like, I'm going to say, let's say, like, I don't know, my mind's gone blank now. All right, let's say I decide I watched an inspirational film, and then I woke up the next day. I was like, do you know what? I want to be an athlete, right? I want to be an athlete, and I want to be a gold medal athlete. I feel like I'm just so inspired by this film. It's like, I think I'm going to do that, right? if my soul, not to say I couldn't, like, okay, beliefs there, I'm not sure I could, but like, not to say I physically couldn't. If I trained and I immersed myself and got the best people on the world to train me, and like, my God, you could do all these things, right? Because the physical body can do these things. But that has nothing, I happen to know, that has nothing to do with my soul reason for being in this incarnation, not with my knees, not with your knees, yeah. Yeah, there are limits there, right? But it's got nothing to do with my soul mission for being Marie Fleming Grant in this body, in this lifetime, in current times. If I was to try from a head-based place to go for this goal of, being an athlete, and I hired all the best people, and I spent like a fortune on all the best people, and I completely transformed my body and transformed everything, like I could probably make results, but I'm not going to do the thing that my head says, oh, I fancy doing this from an ego place. It's got nothing to do with my mission. So my soul is not going to create that. It won't be on board with it. So I could be trying and trying and trying and trying and trying, and I'm not going to get results in the way that I'm wanting. Apply this to anything. It could be your business, creativity, type of job, type of work, because we're tuning into the, I want to say wrong, but it's not really wrong because it's all learning. But you're tuning into the, what is it, like the distraction. It's a distraction. So you can't create whatever you want because that's head-based stuff. And isn't it very convenient that a lot of teachings are telling people this, because it just keeps them on this loop. Half of those people get so disillusioned with anything to do with manifesting and creating, they give it up because it doesn't work. And then they believe that it doesn't exist. Great, keeps them stuck and small and enslaved, right? And then the other people that are just relentless, they'll keep trying, and then they exhaust themselves. And they even keep trying even harder, and they still exhaust themselves, and they don't actually create results. And it's very disheartening, and they're not in their power, right? Manifest and create what you desire, but it's not a Lego set. Yes, I love that. Yeah, I really like that. Yeah, exactly. So it's got to be soul aligned. So just checking in again. So I'm going to leave you with that. If there's any questions that comes from the back of this, if you're watching the replay, pop them below, because I'm going to do, like, as I said, loads more videos and live streams. So I love questions. So any questions, pop them down here wherever you're watching, and I will get to them. I can answer in more content. But reflect, is the goal that you're chasing right now, if you have one, if you don't, just be in that place of just asking your soul. By the way, if you don't know what your goal is, ask your soul the question. Each day, just say, show me, and just wait. And just keep asking, and just wait, but be patient. But if you do have a goal, I want you to reflect and ask yourself, am I chasing someone else's goal, or is this truly soul aligned? Ask yourself the question. You may be surprised at the answer. Some of you are going to get an absolute yes, 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 this is bloody soul aligned, and don't you dare think otherwise kind of answer. Rock solid knowing. I love that feeling. Rock solid soul knowing, right? That's how I feel about a lot of what I do. It's like rock solid knowing, even if it doesn't always go my way, I know I'm here for it, right? And some of you might get the answer of, do you know what? Now I'm asking the question, not fully sure, then sit with that. And then some of you might get the answer of, do you know, no, it's not. It's actually their goal. It's what they're doing is actually not what I actually give a crap about. And you might find that your goals feel different to a year ago, 5 years ago, a week ago, a day ago. All right, so reflect. You can't just create whatever you want because there's a twist, but you can create whatever is truly soul aligned. On that, there are no limits. You can defy all the odds. You can be the most expansive version you've ever been. There's nothing holding you back but your own beliefs, energy, and that stuff you can clear and you can work through. And that's a work in progress, right? Yes. So Neil saying, I always say be guided by your feelings. If it feels good, it's probably the right way to go. Yeah, I would say that deep down, just be a little bit aware of when something is aligned, but it feels uncomfortable, right? Because I've had that. Like, it feels really aligned to release this book, my book that I published last year, but it was very uncomfortable. I was like really nervous. It didn't feel so good because I was really quite nervous about it. I'm still working through some of that, by the way, about promoting my book and putting it really, really out there. So just check, yeah, but your true deep feelings will be, yes, this is right. you know? So when I tuned in beyond the fear and the nervousness and the uncomfortable feeling, it's like deep down, it's like, yeah, no, this is correct for me, right? It does, the idea of having my book published, yeah, that feels good. All the other stuff feels a little uncomfortable, but it's aligned, right? So yeah, so just check in there just to make sure you're not only doing things when they feel good, because a lot of the stuff that we do can be uncomfortable. But I think you know what I mean, right? Let me know. Thank you, Darren. Love to you too, and hugs to you as well. And thank you for saying that. My book is fantastic. Thank you. And I was thinking about it as well, because I have been quite quiet about it. Like, it's still, like, I have moments like I'll promote it and share it, but I haven't really promoted it the way you're supposed to do it. So I am going to probably do a bit more. Oh, thank you. Thank you for saying that. I am going to do a bit more, or a lot more, shall I say, promoting and sharing it, and yeah, just kind of allowing more eyes to be on it, because I haven't so much. So yeah, that's something for me to work through, right? And that's aligned. That feels very aligned. I know you share my post on the book, and I really appreciate it when you do. So thank you. I really do appreciate it. That's so nice of you. So that is it. Yeah. So make sure your goals are aligned, right? Thank you. And yes, we shall talk again soon. And if you want to find out anything, just in case anyone's tuning in, you're not really, you haven't really crossed my path very much, you can check out, just head to my website, info on me, my services, my book, my podcast, my kind of everything. Just pop to theawakerevolution.com. You can find everything there. So I don't know what word came out there. I was reading thanks, and then I said tho. I was trying to say so. Don't multitask anymore, see? Okay. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate you, Darren. Okay, lovely soul. So thanks for joining me. Yeah, and let me know what you feel about this whole conversation as well, because if you're watching the replay, pop comments, I will check back in, because I'd love to know what you feel and think, and have you been tripped up by this? And do your goals feel aligned right now? Because that's the most important thing. And also, you know, that's why the inner work, the inner game, the soul alignment, the tuning in, the connecting to yourself on a soul level is the most important work that we can be doing, because everything sits on top of that. It's the foundation for everything, right? So whilst we're chasing all these outward strategies and ways of doing, it's like, if you don't even connect to yourself and don't know what feels true in your soul, that's going to cause some difficulty, right? So be patient with yourself as well. All right. So sometimes just watching you brings a happy feeling tear. Oh, it's so good. I love that. Thank you. Because it's yeah, sometimes it's activating, and sometimes it's emotional, right? Because this is the stirring of the soul, right? That's what you're feeling. And yeah, and I'm glad that you feel that. It's a stirring up of your soul, and I like to think that I'm talking to you on a soul level, talking to all of you at the level of your higher self, right? Because that's what you are. That's who you are. All right. So lots of love. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. And I will talk to you very soon. All right. Have a lovely rest of your day whenever you're watching. Okay. See you soon.